Robert Jones, a youngster born in 2002. Quite young, eh? Born in England. Well, if you wanna specify, in Liverpool. Born and brought up Liverpool. Always loved Liverpool. But then one day, tragedy struck. When he was just 13, he was told to leave the Liverpool academy. He was stated not good enough, and he thought his football career was nearly over. But then, you wanna say God's grace, his father had to move to Leicester due to some commitments. So he moved too. And as he moved to Leicester, he went into the Leicester City Academy. And on the first time when he went to the Leicester City Academy, he saw Leicester City win the Premier League. And since then, he's been Leicester through and through. Well, he is a proper number 9, you would like to say. He's a proper number 9. But he has one thing that is a bit not like a number 9. He's just 164 centimeter. He's not that high, or he's not that lanky that a number 9 maybe should be. But he's not that. But he wants to show the world that he is the best. He hopes to get game time this season, and he wants to play. He wants to become Jamie Vardy's successor. That's what Robert Jones wants to do. A youngster originally from Liverpool, staying in Leicester. This is the journey of Robert Jones. This is the journey of a legend in the making. This is the journey of Robert Jones. One day, Robert Jones was quite tired and he was about to sleep. But then he got a message. He got a message from the assistant boss, the assistant of Brendan Rodgers, and he had to tell him that they were gonna take him to the preseason tour, and this season he's gonna have game time. And Jones was so happy that he celebrated it with his mom and dad, and he asked his mom and dad to come and told them that it has been his dream, and they all were happy for him. And Robert couldn't describe his happiness in words. He just said that this might well be the start of the greatest player that this world might see in a generation. Jones. He is now officially promoted to the Leicester City first team, and he is here. He is here to take the world by storm. Robert Jones. So we're gonna be playing some training sessions with Robert Jones here to improve him, to make him a better player, and hopefully we could get something good, so that of course it will help Robert Jones, because he's such a good player. Robert Jones, he has always been criticized for being short, but he has always said that being short doesn't stop him from being the best. We're gonna do some training sessions. He wants to be Jamie Vardy's hair, as they say. He wants to be Jamie Vardy's hair, and when you wanna be Jamie Vardy's hair, you just can't help it. So we're gonna start training with Robert Jones. So he's quite young. As you guys may have seen, he got selected for the pre-season tour by Brendan Rodgers. So here he goes. Okay. Here goes Robert Jones here. Oh no. I'm messing up with Robert Jones. Good start. Excellent goal from Robert Jones. Excellent hit. Robert Jones, his love for Liverpool doesn't change, but neither does his love for Leicester. He will always be a Leicester player. he's always said to himself that he might be a Liverpool fan. He might have Liverpool in his. He might be. He might have Liverpool. He might have Liverpool in his heart, but whichever clubs he plays for, he will always be a supporter of that club. And that's what Robert Jones is all about. That's what Robert Jones' story is all about. A youngster, and he's here to train. He's here to take over from Jamie Vardy. He's here to take over from Jamie Vardy here. It's a tough ask because the year Robert Jones came, he saw Leicester win the Premier League. And when you see a team win the Premier League, Leicester winning the Premier League gave a lot of, you can say, a lot of faith to Robert Jones, because winning the Premier League, suddenly the infrastructure of whole Leicester City just improved massively. And it's all because of Robert Jones. Tielemans up to Jones. This is the story of Robert Jones, guys. We'll do the training sessions quick. Do a few trainings here. Doing it with the Leicester City first team. As you saw, the assistant gaffer, he's messaged Robert Jones. He told Robert Jones that you're gonna be in the preseason tour with us. And Robert Jones is extremely excited for that. And yeah, can't wait for it to begin. So the semi-final of the Champions Cup, Robert Jones has been selected to play this game for Leicester City against Atletico de Bilbao. Robert Jones, what a story, what a youngster. He's English, but he wants to win the World Cup with England as well. He wants to become the one who wins England the World Cup. And here he is in the semi-finals of the Champions Cup. Robert Jones leading the line for Leicester. He's Leicester's striker and he's going to compete with Jamie Vardy for that position until Jamie Vardy is sold. But here he is, Robert Jones. Oh, that's a foul. Robert Jones in the semi-finals. Brendan Rodgers said that he's going to get game time this season, and well, until now it feels like he's getting game time because he's played almost all the matches till now. And now with Leicester also in the Europa League, it's gonna take some time. He's gonna... Oh, look at that skill from Robert Jones. And Robert Jones, oh, excellent dribbling for Robert Jones. And that's the type of striker Robert Jones is known for. That's the type of player Robert Jones is. He's a finisher, but he's not that number 9 who sits in the box. He is a player. He wants to be a flair player. He wants to be a flair number 9. And that's what differs him from all the other number 9s. Here's Robert Jones here. Wonderfully done from Robert Jones. Pass it to Jones. Come on. That's what separates him from all the other number 9s. He's flair. He wants to show the world what he can do. Robert Jones. Here he is. Here he is. Oh, look at that skill from Robert Jones. Robert Jones, he is amazing. And that's a penalty given. And that's a penalty on a foul on Robert Jones, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Jones won't be taking this. But Jones has a chance to run in. He's gonna run in Jones. And it's a goal for Leicester. And just like that, Robert Jones earns his team a penalty. Wonderfully done from Jones. He earns the team a penalty. He doesn't take it. And he's got a mistake here. And here's Robert Jones. You can say that his composure in front of goal isn't that good. He's a good mover in the box. He's a good mover in the box, Robert Jones. In spite of being short, he's a good mover in the box. But It's up to Robert Jones here, who's done a bit of skills. He's given it back to Yuri Tielemans. But Robert Jones has won it again. Robert Jones scores an absolute belter. Robert Jones, what a player. Robert Jones has scored a belter, and now we're gonna move on and see what happens. And guys, it continues Robert Jones' journey in the final, and Leicester could be winning the Champions Cup, and Robert Jones could be at the center of it all. Robert Jones, what a legend he is. What a good player Robert Jones is. He's gonna be at the center of Leicester's win in the Champions Cup, because according to the reports, Jamie Vardy has been linked with a move away. So this means that Robert Jones has an opportunity today. He's been given a chance by Brendan Rodgers, and if he lives up to that chance, well, he might well be the number one player. And Robert Jones, excellent skills from Robert Jones. It's getting a bit too easy. Probably should have scored there, Robert Jones. Should have scored there. Oh, Robert Jones should have scored this one. And wanted a cross in. Robert Jones didn't get that cross. But Leicester are surely looking to win silverware this season then. And here's Robert Jones. Robert Jones, excellent delivery. He wants it back from Harvey Barnes. Robert Jones, he's just too good. He's just too good, Robert Jones. He just too good then, Robert Jones. Excellent from Robert Jones. Points towards the sky. He always does point towards the sky. To thank God for his career, which felt like it was over when he was at Liverpool. Well, now it's revitalized by Leicester. And he looks good. And Robert Jones wanted the ball, or didn't get it, but I get it now. Brilliant hold-up play from Robert Jones. Probably wasn't that too selfish, but being a centre forward, Jones needs to learn to play selfish football, because he needs to be selfish if he wants to become a good centre forward. Robert Jones, excellently put in for Maddison. Here come Leicester now. Robert Jones fouled, but doesn't matter much. Here they go. Come on, Soyuncu. That's great tackling from Leicester City. And here goes Harvey Barnes. And Robert Jones is in there. Robert Jones is trying to make the run. Robert Jones! Oh my days, Harvey Barnes couldn't find Jones. But here's Jones again. Here's Robert Jones. Robert Jones, he is a proper number 9. He's a finisher. But he still needs a lot of improvements if he wants to become the player that he aspires to become. And Villarreal on the attack. Don't score, but Unai Emery's team Villarreal thought like that scored then. Robert Jones doing excellently well there. And here goes Robert Jones now. Here goes Robert Jones. He sent through his winger. His Sheng is under, if I'm not wrong, and he tried to put it in for Jones, but Jones couldn't get there. But excellent link-up play from Jones. Jones is showing that he's not only just a centre forward, he's just more than that. He is more than just a centre forward here. He's more than that. He's quite good a player, but Villarreal are dominating proceedings here. Well, as you saw earlier in the video, how Jones was messaged by Brendan Rodgers' assistant, and he was told that he was gonna get game time, and he has got game time in the preseason tour, and he has been excellent in the time that he's got given. Robert Jones. Bit too selfish there, but it is what it is. And also with Jamie Vardy, interestingly enough, maybe having a move, Robert Jones, it has opened up for Jones, and it's in for Madison. Great assist from Robert Jones. He's showing why he's not just a player who just scores goals and sits in the box. He is a maker also, and that's where he's fast, he's quick, he's intelligent, and here he is again. Great skill from Robert Jones here, and tackled up well by the Villarreal defender. He'll take the throw in, Robert Jones. He'll take the delivery in. He'll take it in. Here goes Robert Jones, amazing. Robert Jones, oh my days. He's scoring some at will. He's coming in late at the box. Robert Jones, late movement into the box from Jones. Here he is again. Here he fouled. He's not fouled there. But that will be it for the first half, and Leicester are playing extremely well. And now we'll move to Leicester winning the trophy here. And guys, the big news that's come is that Robert Jones, he scored a hat-trick. He's not only scored a hat-trick in the final, but Jamie Vardy, the Leicester City number 9, has officially moved to Barcelona. So his transfer has been confirmed to Barcelona, which leaves only Robert Jones and Kelechi Iheanacho as the two centre forwards at the club, which is absolutely a boon for Robert Jones, who has put in a hat-trick performance today, this game, and he would actually be the one who will round this off, and who should be the one who will be lifting the trophy high and score a sweaty goal. Leicester have scored a sweaty goal, and it doesn't matter really. 5-0 humiliation of Villarreal. Robert Jones for him. 1 assist. Amazing for Robert Jones. Excellent player, excellent man, Robert Jones. His journey starts from here. Leicester winning the preseason. They'll go into the Premier League. Robert Jones, he's already got his 1 rating up. He's now 67 rated. And if you look at it, Jamie Vardy, it's officially been confirmed that Jamie Vardy is no more at the club. So now Avi Muske, who is just 59 rated, is there a striker. Then there's Robert Jones, who is of course 67 rated. Then there's Silmani, who is 32 but is 77 rated. And then there is Kelechi Iheanacho, who is 74 rated. So the journey isn't over for Robert Jones yet. He's not the number 1 now, but he started off as the 27th highest rated player, like 27th player on the Petty order, but he's ended the preseason being 18th. Amazing journey for Robert Jones. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you're excited for this series, Robert Jones, subscribe. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Robert Jones is here.